Okay, so it's been 18 months since I last uploaded a video on this channel, and I wanted to do a quick checkup on what I've been knitting, because honestly, since I last uploaded, I kind of slowed down my knitting, especially this year. I only started working again May. I started knitting from May, and then basically I'm just going to show you everything I made for this summer. Yeah, so if you don't know, I've been knitting for 4 or 5 years. I started with crochet. I did knit when I was a kid because I am Georgian and everyone in Georgia knows how to knit. But yeah, I picked it back up during university, and I consider myself still a beginner knitter because I still haven't knitted anything textured or with lace. I knit very basic items. So yeah, let me just get right into what I did this year. So firstly, I freehanded a camisole using scrap yarn I had, because I don't know, I wanted to use up some scraps, but I wanted to make a garment that I could possibly wear. This is a very simple camisole. I didn't use a pattern at all, but I did have to do maths for it. I didn't do any shaping except for the, sorry for the noise, I have my window open and I live in London, so you can basically hear what all my neighbours are talking about. But basically, I did a bottom up, so I casted on at the bottom, worked my way up until the armholes, and I did some shaping to make sure that there were some space for me where my armpit wasn't going to get dug in through the tight fabric. I made it quite long. It appears longer than I think it looks on my body, maybe because of my bust. And I'll put a picture up maybe of what it looks like on. I'm not particularly happy about it. I still haven't block fit, so I can't really be too harsh on this garment, because obviously you can tell that everything's rolling in. And I don't know, I think this shade, I wanted to do a video on this yarn alone. It's Drops Cotton Light and the shade is Off-White. And I had actually knitted up 2 other garments with this yarn, and every time I would just frog it. So firstly I did a Henley with like some cute brown buttons, but then that was one of my first garments and I noticed I was twisting my stitches, so it looked really weird from, you know, when you do the Henley and then when you also work in the round, you could tell like the difference. So I wanted to frog that after, like, I think I waited a whole year to frog it. I never wore it outside, but I did wear it indoors. Then I used that yarn actually last year to knit I think it's called the Sumi sweater. This is what it looks like. I might have to take a break. Okay, sorry about that, this should be better. So I frogged the Henley, then did the Sumi sweater. I'll put the names because I don't remember all the designers, but this is a pattern that I had paid for. I think I did it, let me check the exact date on my Ravelry. Okay, so this sweater is by JJOO Knit, and I started knitting it in October last year. And I remember I knitted it, then I paused, and then when I came back from holiday I restarted knitting it. So I had finished the whole body for this jumper, and it didn't bother me at the beginning, but the yoke and the body is a lot wider than I would prefer, especially for the style of jumper this is meant to be. It is really pretty, and I don't know, I think the neckline is really beautiful. I think it's 2x2 rib, actually maybe it's actually I think it's 2 knit, 1 purl, and then there's stockinette here, and then it goes into just regular, sorry, I mean garter stitch, and then it goes into stockinette. And yeah, it's really pretty, but I think the yarn was the problem again, which made me want to frog this directly from the jumper to make that vest I just showed you. And yeah, I do recommend this pattern, but I don't think it's been graded for all sizes. I don't know, I do need to test it again, because I did gauge swatch and I did knit the size that was meant to be for me. This yarn is a DK and the pattern does require a sport weight, so I might try again with maybe fingering weight yarn and a lace yarn. I do need to test it because I do really like the pattern and I love the project photos. But yeah, so I did have to frog this to make this vest camisole, and I didn't mention the blue because it's just a random acrylic variegated yarn or ombre yarn that I had in my stash. So yeah, this was the first thing I knit, and I think this was in May, and it took me I should probably open these before talking about them. It took me 3 days. I did it in June. Okay, in June. Everything is being knitted from June to July in this video. So yeah, this is the first thing I did, and yeah, it was okay. I'm not planning on wearing it yet because it's not really my style. The next thing I knit, and I finally blocked yesterday, is the Tolsta tee. This is my second version, and I did actually use the same yarn for my first one, except I made the black using the black yarn. This is with Drops Safran in the shade Pistachio. I really love this tee. It always looks so wide, and I don't know why that is. I do go down a needle size to knit it because I am quite a loose knitter, but it looks wide, and I've noticed in a lot of project photos that it's wide as well. I know cotton stretches, but I don't know. Now that I've blocked it, the stitches are a lot neater, and I really love the final fabric. It looks really drapey, but it also looks a lot more cohesive than it did before I blocked it. I also have my black version here, and I knitted the exact same size both times, and they do look quite different in size. The black one I think I knitted a bit shorter, maybe like a centimeter shorter, and I think the sleeves were longer. I think, yeah, a lot of differences, I guess, but when I wear it, the black one is like more cropped, and like I can wear with a really wide neck, like kind of showing my bra strap, and the green one's the same, but it's a bit like more boxy and long. So I mean, such minor changes resulted in like quite significant appearance differences. So yeah, I did the second Tolsta tee. This is with fingering weight yarn. I think Drop Safran is actually a sport weight, but again, I did do the gauge swatch for this and worked appropriately with that. It took me 7 days to knit this because it uses I used 3.5mm needles for this, and it's so pretty. I love the color. It's not really my shade, but I did buy this yarn last year with the intention of making another Tolsta, so I was like, oh, I might as well just do that in time for summer, and I have already worn it like 2 or 3 times. So yeah, after the Tolsta, I think I started knitting my Olga, and this is my second Olga sweater. Now, again, the Drops Cotton Light is a yarn I wanted to discuss in another video because it is so, like, for me, it's like very controversial because I hate working with it. I sometimes like the outcome, and then I buy it again in a different shade. So this is an example of that. So last year I bought 2 shades of Drops Cotton Light, which was pearl grey and I think dark grey, and I bought it because I wanted to make a pair of striped shorts like I had before. I had made like a acrylic one, and it was really beautiful. I love wearing it, but I think for summer I wanted something more like beachy and like wearable for summer. Obviously the acrylic one I have only been wearing at home as like lounge wear, because I don't know, you can obviously tell that it is like for home. So yeah, I made Olga with intention. It wasn't my intention, which is why I had to buy more yarn, but I did want to have this color scheme, which was the grey contrast stripes. Let me just hold it out for you. So this one I haven't blocked yet, and I have actually made an Olga, so this is the second one I made. So it was very easy. Here's the back with the diagonal stripes. On one side I didn't pick it up as well because this yarn is quite difficult to work with because it has a lot of plies in it, and unfortunately I think you can probably tell there is a difference in dye lot for the sleeves and the main body. I think this side is more noticeable because I didn't have any of the original pearl grey to continue the sleeve like I did on this side. So yeah, I'm not really disappointed. I had the dye lot saved. I was looking for, I think the main reason I didn't start the shorts is because I had 4 balls of each colour last year, and I didn't think that would be enough for the shorts. And then I think for the past year I kept looking on Wool Warehouse to see like if the dye lot comes back, or if I see something similar, because I guess like I just assumed that the closer the number, then I guess maybe the color will be closer. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, these are completely different dye lots. The dark gray, you can't tell a difference, I don't think. Well, I personally can't, but obviously the pearl grey you can. This one is a lot more, I don't know, it's got like a yellow tinge to it here. And then the pearl grey, this newer pearl grey is definitely like a lot more of what I wanted initially. It's like very cool toned and I don't know, very silvery. And the original pearl grey, I only noticed like after knitting with the other one. Yeah, it's a lot more warmer grey, like a beige grey. So yeah, I'll put this over what I'm currently wearing. I did mention this is Drops Cottonite. It's a DK yarn. It's got a lot of plies, and I actually love the outcome of this jumper, and it's really beautiful. I love the stripes. I love the fit of it. I love that it's kind of cropped, and I don't expect it to grow much on the length. Sleeves I wouldn't mind. Again, it's perfect sleeve length for me, and this is definitely the Olga sweater that I prefer. The original one I made, I did show in my last video probably, where I used a off-white colour which is similar to the other one, which is quite yellowy, and I paired that with Hobby, I think carnival yarn in shade Luanda, and the outcome just wasn't my vibe. And this is very much my style, it's in my colours, and I'm so glad to have knit this. I think it took me so I started knitting it June 22nd and I finished July 6th, which is about 2 weeks I think. And yeah, I think that's not bad for this jumper. I was continuously working on it, and yeah. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorite things I've knit. It's such a basic. Again, like I said, like even though I have knitted quite a lot and for quite a long time, I still like knitting basics, and I am a pattern repeater. Okay, so I think after the Olga, I started knitting with a new yarn that I had bought from Wool Warehouse. I've been recently seeing the Yarnsmiths Cotton DK on their website. I don't know if it's new, but I saw it on sale and I was like, let me bulk buy for 3 different top shades. So I think I got parchment, brown bear and navy, 7 skeins of each, because I wanted to make summer clothes. I think it's kind of late to get onto more, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. So what I did knit straight away was the vest top by Yarnsmiths. It's a free pattern and I think it came out really cute. I haven't blocked it yet, but it's just a simple vest, but I really liked the rib details that it had. Like most patterns, it has decreases for the armholes, but this one you later on pick up and knit as rib, which I think is really cute. And I don't really normally see patterns like this. I don't know, I thought it was a cute basic and I thought it would look really cute with summer shorts. It's just a regular knit 1 purl one and you work this bottom up, and surprisingly it took me 3 days again. I think 4 days with all the finishes. And yeah, it was such a quick knit. I knit it with 3.5mm needles and I was quite happy with it until I finished it and tried it on. I noticed that the underarms dug right into me, and I'm not sure whether it's because it's been knit too wide across the whole body, that like inevitably if I am picking up extra stitches under the arm it is gonna dig, especially as my cast off was quite tight. I just did Italian bind off with the 2 like prep rows. So yeah, it does dig into me. I've not worn it yet, and also I don't know if you can tell with it being against my body, but it's like quite wide straps. I knit my size, I gauge swatched like 3 times. I don't know, I had high hopes because it is like Yarnsmith's own pattern for this exact yarn, but I guess I don't know if it's being tried on all sizes. It just seems like this is just way too wide for the size it's meant to be. Like, why would the straps be this wide apart just because it's a larger size? I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, this is unfortunately a fail. I don't know if I can try fix it in blocking, or maybe I might have to pick up stitches here as well and try and knit like a double strap on each side. I saw on another podcast someone had done that. So yeah, this was brown bear. I used 5.2 skeins total, which is 260 grams of yarn. It's 100% cotton yarn, which is great, and it feels really, really soft. So that's why I was so excited to work with this yarn. But yeah, the size, I knit size 5. Maybe I should have done 4, but I picked it based on my bust size. And yeah, hopefully I can fix this, but for right now it's not been blocked, so I can't really say anything about that. Okay, so July 9th is when I finished that garment, and that's when I moved on to a random pattern, which is the Ruffled Triangle by Viktoria Kurbatskaia. It's a free pattern, and I think they had a YouTube tutorial for this triangle, and I just wanted to knit with this red cone yarn that I had bought on Vinted a few years ago, maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago. It's just this boucle yarn. It's not really a lace weight, but it's kind of knits to a fingering weight, depending on the needles, I guess. But I used 5mm needles for this to achieve this knit, what is it, like, I don't know, this gauge. And yeah, I loosely follow this pattern. It's very simple. You just do repeats every 2 rows, and I did it to make a bandana, and I didn't really do the ruffles. You can't really tell because it's such a bright yarn. You probably can't tell, but there's a contrast between the ruffle and the main part, so it's a bit lighter. This is another lace cone. It's got no texture to the yarn at all, so you can see the stitches more easily. But yeah, I just thought I could make a quick accessory. It's not really my colour, but I did want to use it just because I thought it would be fun to knit. And yeah, I did have intention of doing like a really ruffled edge, but then I just started getting tired. This took me 4 days for this. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's really pretty. Maybe I would knit with a different colour. I think maybe if I do knit a bandana like this again, I will do like lace work, because it just gets really boring. And I have actually knit a triangle neck scarf before, and that one I wore all the time, and it is also red. So yeah, maybe I need to like get out of my comfort zone. I think I keep like knitting just random random stockinette patterns. So yeah, this is really pretty, and I would recommend the YouTube tutorial. It's very simple to follow, and the ruffles look really pretty, and I actually like the shade she used for her one. Again, I just wanted to use up my stash for this, but yeah, that's what I made. It took me 3 days. So that's all my FOs in, I think, 2 months of knitting, June and July this year. So it's currently 15th of July, so I did finish that bandana 2 days ago, and since then I've been knitting another garment with that exact yarn, which is the red like fingering weight boucle random cone. I'm actually repeating the Tolsta pattern again. I used 5mm needles because I kind of am getting gauge for it. I'm knitting this Tolsta, but I'm calling it a Tolsta blouse because of the, I mean, obviously you can see it's more sheer and it's like more textured. Because of the boucle, it looks it has a different look to a regular Tolsta. This I'm knitting for my mum, so it's quite a small size. I couldn't show you what this would look like on me. I'm knitting the size 2 to get size 1, I think, according to my calculations. That's what should be happening. So yeah, I've been knitting this for 2 days. It's quite quick to knit, but I am getting to the part where I'm doing the last bust decrease, and then I will be just knitting in the round. This is so long, it takes so long to knit this, and I am quite worried that my mum won't actually find this practical. She was the one who wanted me to use this yarn after seeing the bandana I was making. She really wanted a t-shirt in this material in the exact same needle size. So I kept looking and came back to the Tolsta according to my gauge. And so yeah, I am knitting the DK version with D-cup bust shaping, following the pattern exactly. And yeah, so I found out that this cone is actually 100%, I think it is 100% acrylic. It says acrylic in the cone itself, so I think it would be too hot to wear in summer and maybe too cold in winter. I'm not really sure. I don't know why I'm knitting this, to be honest, but she did want it, and I hope she does actually find a way to wear it, because it is a really beautiful yarn. Again, definitely not my shade, but I think it could be a really cute, like, occasional top to wear. So yeah, I am knitting this with 3.5mm needles. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm knitting with 5mm needles because it is the DK version, and 5 is the same as the bandana. That's the reason I wanted to use the same needle. And I started on the 12th, and I'm hoping to finish it by the 18th, which is 2 days from now. because she's going away on holiday, and I was thinking maybe she could wear it there. So yeah, I guess that's a deadline that I have. I also wanted to show you some other whips I'm working on. They're not really whips, but they're stuff that I want to knit from now on, which is I wanted to make another sock of these ones. This is just the vanilla sock with just like random 1x1 in different colors. I don't know why I did this. Honestly, I don't even know if it's wearable, because this is the first time I worked color work on a sock, and I didn't really realize how tight this would be. It is tight, it's not been tried on. This is for my mum again. It was meant to be for her birthday last year, but it's gonna look like it's gonna be for her birthday this year. So yeah, I do want to knit the other sock, and maybe I might have to frog this one. I do have to try that. So I'm using, for this, I'm using Fabel baby pink and fuchsia, I think. Yeah, drops Fabel. I'm using a 2.25 millimeter. I think this is a Knit Pro needle, 9cm one. It's really cute and I love it. Now, other thing I was working on before I started all these projects was a poncho with this random mohair like yarn. I thought it would be really cute to have like a white poncho to wear over clothes this summer, but when I really think about it, this is probably going to be way too hot to wear. I mean, it looks really pretty, the yarn knits up really nice, so I want to make something with this, but definitely not a poncho. So yeah, this is something I need to figure out. Then something else I need to do before too long, and hopefully by the end of August I'll have it done, is to lengthen this beanie. This is a 2x2 beanie. I think the pattern is actually called a 2x2 beanie, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's called the Rib Beanie by Emily Bolduan. It's a free pattern, and yeah, it's 2x2 rib, and then there's crown shaping, which is really pretty. I made this for my dad last year using West Yorkshire Spinners yarn. Let me check the shade. In shade Graven. It's the Croft DK. So yeah, it's really pretty. I love it. I don't know why he wants it longer, but I do kind of see it. It's a really pretty beanie, and I kind of knitted it in the same color as the actual pattern project photos. I thought this would be a really pretty green for like hazel eyes, and yeah, I just need to lengthen it for as much as I can. I think I have like the smallest amount of yarn left, so I am gonna just knit until I can't knit anymore. And yeah, I would recommend this beanie. It's so easy. It took me 2 days to get to here because I was working with a very tight deadline, and that's probably why I got lazy with the ribbing end and didn't just knit until I thought it would have fit better. Yeah, it's so pretty. It's like a olive green, and yeah, the shade is Graven. So these are the stuff I want to work on. I also want to try use up the new cotton yarn I have. Honestly, my stash is not big, but it's just like I have a lot of lingering skeins of acrylic yarn from when I crocheted, so I tried to use that up, but I don't want to use it for garments anymore. I do have the plan to make more cushion covers, which I had shown in my last video. I'm going to try to show it now because I do actually have it right here. I just washed it, so you might see a lot of loose ends, but this is the cushion cover that I made probably almost 2 years ago now, during the vlog that I posted. It's super cute. I did 2 different sizes. This is like scrap granny squares that I was collecting. I have a lot more left, and then this is another scrap that I had. It seems to have stretched in the wash, I think, but that doesn't really bother me. And yeah, so I'm planning on doing a lot of acrylic cushion covers to use that up, and then also now I really want to move away from summer knits because of this flop of a vest. I'm actually quite upset about this, and I don't know who to blame. Whether it's the pattern for like making such wide, because honestly the project photo did not look like this, but you could still tell that the straps are a lot wider than you would expect them. I think ideally I might have to frog it until the armpit, then do really like excessive like decreases, so that when I do eventually do the rib again, it's going to be in a more suitable position. But yeah, that's everything, and I hope this was, I don't know, interesting to watch. I'm not sure if I'll be posting again, but I just wanted to do this quick checkup because I don't know, it feels nice to talk about my knits. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope that I'll see you again.